Good evening and welcome to another edition of Fighting Words. Fighting Words is brought to you each and every night of the week in grateful appreciation to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the men and women police and fire services, the doctors and nurses, first responders, and those wonderful people that keep the shelves stocked in the supermarkets. Tonight's show is dedicated to a special group of people. Last week, we were off because of Memorial Day. Memorial Day is set aside so that we can honor those who have passed serving our country, protecting our freedom. It's also for the people who've lost family members, the Gold Star families, as well as the active people and also the veterans. Remember, you served for a short time, but you're a veteran for life. The other group of people we wanted to dedicate the show tonight to is two young men who have hit a wall, not only gone through it, but shattered the wall. Uh, on last week, Mr. Brady Quinn Basso graduated from SCF and is going to matriculate next year at the University of South Florida College of Engineering. And then we have another graduation this month. This August, of Mr. Ty Anthony Basso from the University of South Florida, and he's headed for medical school. Um, they also have the support of a very strong parent, a single parent who has worked through at all kinds of adversities, both personal and with the boys, and has come out strong. And that's Dr. Kathleen Marie Carroll. So to those three people, we give our very best thoughts for and congratulations. And just so everybody knows, Mr. Caden J. Carroll, who is one of our hosts here tonight, is the brother of the two boys. And last year he graduated, I forgot to say, from the parish high school. And so we congratulated him and belatedly congratulate him also. Well, guys,
Congrats,
it's been a big week. Where do you want to start, Caden? How about Alan Arnold and Costa?
Yeah, that was a classic. Alexander Arnold finish. He went in there, got done what he needed to do. I saw a recap on that fight. I didn't see the whole thing, so I can't go too in depth in it. But I saw he was getting the hands going. I believe he had one or two takedowns. So it's a classic all-around performance. And a guy like that, you really want to see him get a win like that. Because I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he had any wins in 2025. So to see him get back in the win column here in 2026 is definitely a positive note.
Good. Hey, Tony, Mayweather has got a whole hell of a lot of problems coming up. It seems that his money manager stole $175 million from him, which he's in court now trying to get some of it back, but it's already spent. But now he's got to pay for he's got a parentry suit against him for $1 million, and he's taken it all into camp. He's begun to get back in the gym for his fight with Pacquiao. What's your thoughts?
He better do something because he's going to be in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's already there, I guess. When you go and you throw money away in strip clubs and make it rain and everything else, I mean, you got to see this day coming.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it coming. I didn't have the money in my hand, but with everything he's going through right now, if he doesn't fight, he is in for it because that's about the only way that man's going to make any more money and to be able to pay people off that he's going to need to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, if it's a real boxing match, which I think it's not an exhibition, right?
No.
Oh, he's going to lose his perfect score.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way he'll beat Manny Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely no way.
Okay.
So hopefully he makes a lot because he's going to take his first loss.
Okay. Hey, Caden, what do you think about Dobo Choi and Daniel Sotos?
I didn't happen to see that one.
It's going to happen the second.
It happened. Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
What? I guess there's no fight. What do you mean?
They,
on the second. Oh, on the second. I thought it was going to happen that second.
No.
Okay. On the second, yeah, I didn't hear much about that one. I know Doho Choi hasn't fought in like 1 or 2 years, so it's good to see him back in the octagon. But honestly, that's like the extent of what I know about both of those guys, really.
Okay. Tell me what you think about Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn coming up in September.
I love both those guys. I love Conor Benn, and Ryan's my guy, but I just can't see Conor Benn winning the fight. I'm not even sure it's even going to be close. I truly think that Ryan Garcia is probably going to knock him out in the first 4 or 5 rounds.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Then what's for Garcia after that?
Honestly, you better go for Haney. That's the one everyone wants to see. Because Shakur, he can wait and do that at any time.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone wants to see whether or not Haney's going to run to the lawyer and get the next loss reversed again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I want to see. Hopefully, what I'm seeing in the media is that's the one everyone's asking him for. So we will see. I don't even know why it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll be the direction.
Okay. Caden, what do you think about Yanni Diaz and Malcolm Wellmarker?
Right. I was on mute. I don't know much about that one either.
Okay. How about?
I got a question for you, Caden. Do you think Nate's ready for another fight after the way he fought this last time? Against even anyone.
Man, I was just talking about this with Brady today earlier. We saw online that his reported purse was $500,000, right? Which for what he did, $500,000. That's just he put up a great fight. It wasn't a great fight, but it was a valiant effort. He got his ass beat for too many rounds that he should have, and he didn't back down. So I give him that. But he got $500,000 for that. And I heard through the grapevines that he could have gotten even upwards of $10 million after everything's all said and done with brand deals and all the money in total that he's going to make off of all the promotions from the fight and everything in total. So $10 million, if any of that is remotely true, if a fraction of that is true, and he got $1 million, I could definitely see him going out there and trying to fight again. Because one thing about Nate is he's all about trying to secure the future for his family. And I think he would probably go out there and try and make those millions. Especially because he hasn't seen money like this ever. He's never made. I think he made $1 million when he fought Conor McGregor, and that was one of the biggest purses to date. Him and Conor McGregor, it was one of the biggest purses to date that the UFC gave out. It was $1 million for Nate Diaz only. So he's making $500,000 to go out there now as a 42-year-old man. Maybe even $10 million if that is true. I could definitely see him fighting again for the money, but for the skill-wise, if you're going out there and calling out Nate Diaz, that's like calling out Michael Jordan to a 1v1 right now,
Yeah. I thought he made more money than that. I thought all those guys made more than that. So, I don't blame him for going back out there, but it doesn't look like he trained or anything for it. But then again, it doesn't really matter, if you make that kind of money. So he always puts on a good fight no matter what. There's blood, there's guts. So that's what people want to see.
And damn if he didn't give some effort in that fight, man.
Absolutely.
Granted, he wasn't really supposed to be out there. I think we were talking about this before. It looked like he was smoking before that fight. He had absolutely no stamina. But he gave it his all, man. You gotta love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You talking about the Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz fight, Caden?
I was earlier, yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. McGregor's been off 5 years, right?
Mhm.
And I understand. I've seen the pictures of him in the gym now. Can
Oh,
he
yeah.
hold up to Nate Diaz?
No, he's fighting even worse. He's fighting Max Holloway. That's if you were to fight Nate Diaz now, Nate Diaz would be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of Conor has been on steroids for the past 10 years or actually no 5 years. Because it's been 5 years. Conor's been on steroids for the past 5 years, and Nate hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But Conor's going in there and prepping for his fight with Max Holloway, which I mean I believe we talked about this last show briefly, but that just absolutely came out of nowhere. When Brady's the one who told me about that, I thought it was fake. I thought he was reading some sort of fake headline because it almost makes no sense why they would match him up against Max Holloway, a dude who, for the past 5 years, he's been fighting nothing but world champions. For the past 5 years, Conor McGregor's been, beating women and rape cases. So I think there's a difference there, and that has to be shown. And it will be shown in the octagon when they fight each other, or if they fight each other. It is signed and ready to go, but you never know with Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
They pick up another chair and throw it through a bus. You never know.
Yeah. Well, let me. Now, here's one for both of you. John Jones says that his next fight he wants to be in boxing. All right, first question to Caden: can he hold up for 10 rounds?
No, he's not made for that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, he grew up. I'm sure all y'all know that the Jones brothers. Every single Jones brother has been in either the NFL or the UFC, and they've been the best. Chandler Jones, his brother, is still now. If you look at the last 15 years of football, he's still in the top 5 for most sacks. Chandler Jones. So these dudes are just built to wrestle and move human beings. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you look at John Jones' size and his length, he is built to wrestle and get in close and get the elbows and kick you. You look at his game in the UFC, no one's ever looked at John Jones and said, wow, this guy is an excellent boxer. He's a great striker because he can hit you from almost anywhere and he'll use any tool. He's super smart. He knows how to fight. He knows the game. But no, he plays to his strengths. And that goes hand in hand with his fight IQ. And part of his fight game is not sitting there and trying to box with people. That's what almost lost him the Gustafsson fight. That's what almost lost him the Dominic Reyes fight. So I think if he were to go into boxing, it would be a mistake. But what I did see is absolutely confirmed is that he signed a deal with RAF, the wrestling organization.
Right.
And he's going to be wrestling for RAF, which still leaves him open to boxing and UFC contracts. But for what John's doing right now, he is going to go wrestle.
The RAF, is that Jake Paul?
No, this is they sprung up recently, some American wrestling organization. They've been getting Armand Saryukin, Chael Sonnen, Uriah Faber, John Jones, everybody. Bo Nickel, and it's traditional wrestling. It's point wrestling, and to bring it because you notice with a lot of these wrestlers after college, there's no real glory in professional wrestling. All those dudes who are the greatest college wrestlers of all time,
right?
Say Bo Nickel, Daniel Cormier is a great example. Bo Nickel and Daniel Cormier, both guys who are considered one of the greatest. There's no choice at the pro level for wrestling. You got to go to the UFC or something else, or to make some money with that skill. But now with the RAF, they're having guys and they're paying these guys pretty well, and people are watching.
Okay. Tony, if John Jones goes into the boxing ring, who would you see would be a amiable opponent for him?
Caden, how much does he weigh?
240 pounds.
So he's heavyweight.
Yeah.
You need to pick someone that
Hey, bud, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, bud?
Good. We'll merge you right in.
Oh, really?
I'd have to put him up against somebody like. Honestly, I think for a first boxing match heavyweight, he should probably go against Wardley because Wardley going down that slope, and kind of heading out.
Mm-hmm.
But John Jones is trying to get into it. I would give John Jones the first 3 rounds. Anything could happen. He's not scared to get hit about you for anything. So I'd give him first 3 rounds of probably you better watch out. He might really get you and take you down. But after 3, I don't think he'd have the stamina. He's just not. That's not his thing, like Caden was saying. So yeah, Fabio Wardley, I think would be a good fight for him. You don't want to go against like the Ba or any of the hardcore guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even give him Woodley. I would start off with like Jake Paul. If we're being like 100% serious, what's most likely going to happen if he were ever to box, which I think I don't think it's too likely for him to step in the boxing ring. I think it would have to be something like a celebrity cash grab, like he'd go fight an NFL player or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now fighting Jake Paul, that'd be a fair fight.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That'd be a fair fight. I'd like to see that one. I didn't really think of Jake Paul, but honestly, I'd like to see that. I think that'd be fair. Just go at it, 10 rounds, see who's going to come out, because he might be able to knock Jake Paul out the first 3 or so, maybe 4. But after that, Jake Paul's probably got better stamina with the boxing. So if he doesn't do it in 3 or 4, he might be in trouble. But another thing I was thinking when you guys were talking about the wrestling, people are really kind of getting tired of WWE. I mean, it's old. It's all of it's fabricated, but this is just beyond fabricated. The old days of like championship wrestling from Florida, those were the good old days. And if they were to bring back this group and bring in some guys that out of the UFC, they're just kind of phasing out and they go into wrestling, they could make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a good gimmick for them.
Okay. We're joined by Zito. First of all, glad to have you back. Secondly, we're talking about John Jones says that he wants to box his next fight. What's your thoughts, and who do you think he should go against?
First of all, glad to be back. Great to be back. And I was listening to a little bit, and I'm going to agree with Caden as far as levels. I would, if even Jake Paul, I'm going to be hesitant to give John Jones to. And that's just because if Jake Paul is able to fight again, that's just because Jake Paul has been boxing for the better part of almost about 7 years. And he's been focused on purely boxing. John Jones has not. He has not. And to take it, as I said, to take it from one athletic endeavor to another is, to me, the equivalent of taking a golf player and putting him on the tennis court.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see, when you put like Anthony Joshua was a guy who you did that twice with him, and he didn't really, he didn't have too much mercy for either guy. As far as a guy who came from the UFC and mixed martial arts, he's not a pure boxer, and Jake Paul, as long as he's doing it, he's not that caliber of boxer that Anthony Joshua is. So when you come down to that, John Jones, I would put him up against another novice of his weight.
Mm-hmm.
I would literally do that. Put him, up against an amateur guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now to want to draw money, yeah, you want to have him fight a name.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as for his boxing success, that wouldn't work out unless he's actually boxing another mixed martial artist. So I would like to see him in Cormier box.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, something like that. But that is now kind of what's going on with the UFC fighters. Yeah, they're phasing out of UFC and they're looking at the boxing money. And since they have a name, they're able to produce that. So we'll see what's going on with them.
Okay. Caden, the other thing with John Jones is he's trying to get out of his contract, and it isn't really easy to get out of a contract with Dana. What's your thoughts?
I don't know how many fights he has left on his contract, if any at all. But I know if he were to have any fights on his, I believe he fought out his fight against Stefan Miocic because he vacated the title and everything. I don't think that's too big of a deal for him. But I do know right now he is signed and loaded in with the RAF. I don't know too many of the professional wrestlers, so I can't go out there and say, who he could go out there and fight. I doubt he'd go out and try and wrestle with a guy like Gable Stevenson, but he could, I doubt it. Gable Stevenson is fresh and young and fresh off of winning an NCAA championship, so who knows? But out of the guys in RAF, I don't really know much.
Hey, Tony, Oscar De La Hoya says that it's a joke, the Haney fight and Rolly fight. What do you think?
Who and Rolly?
Haney.
Haney and Rolly?
Yeah.
I agree with him. I agree with that. Everyone likes Haney, or people like Haney for, I don't know what to even say. I don't like Haney. I don't like what he's done. I don't like the way he presented himself. I don't like the court issues suing people. Against Raleigh, I personally think Raleigh will beat him if that happens. I don't think that'll be. I think Raleigh should fight somebody else. I don't think he should be in line for Devin Haney. Right now, Devin Haney needs to go back and fight Garcia. That's what we all want to see. We want to see what's going to happen with that. What's the real deal? PEDs, no PEDs, small amounts, no amounts, large amounts. Everybody wants to see it. And that's the way it should go. But if he fights Raleigh, and he'll get his attorney and get the law overturned somehow.
Yeah. What do you think, Z?
Yeah, I think that would make it actually interesting fight to see. Raleigh, for all his work and for all the talk, Raleigh beat Ryan Garcia, and I don't hear Ryan Garcia really mentioning inventing that law. So, I'm yet to see that with Ryan. With Devin Haney, this interesting in boxing law. I would like to see it. Will it happen? I don't know. I like the way Devin Haney. I like the way Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia looked when they moved up to welterweight. When they fought, true welterweight. So I would like to see that, but I don't know if that'll happen. It seems like Devin Haney's trying to price himself a little high now, and we're not seeing the fights that we need to see. I think. I would like to see him fight Ryan Garcia again. Yeah, but I would like to see this Raleigh fight. You can see how that goes.
Okay. Hey, Caden. Netflix is really having a conniption over the girls' fight last week, Rousey fight, in that it only lasted, 37 seconds? Was that a mismatch, or what's your thoughts on that one?
Obviously you see the end result, and you could say that. But I think leading up to it, it's really a big question mark. You haven't seen any of these girls fighting over, almost over a decade. I think it's 15 years for Gina and maybe 10 years for Ronda. I don't know exactly. But I think that was more of a big question mark than anything. I don't know if it was more of a. I think after the fact you could say mismatch, but before, I think it's what people wanted to see at the time. You know what I mean?
Okay. Z, you're into the boxing much more than all of us. Um, Tell us just exactly what goes into matchmaking.
Money,
Uh,
marketability, for the most part.
mhm,
You have guys, and a lot of times these guys are brought up, in a way to be marketed. Um, but really, a lot of times it's one-sided. For the most part, it's promotionally one-sided with the matchmaking. So that there are ways to do it. There are different ways to do it. It's all into promotion. But really, you have a guy the same weight basically, and just deal with the manager, and make the fight. When they say yes, then the
mhm,
fight's made.
mhm. All right. Uh, Tony, what do you think about Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevens uh, coming up?
It's going to be a good fight. It's going to come down to, I think, either Ryan will knock Shakur out or Shakur will win by points because he'll be able to just completely duck Ryan Garcia. So if Ryan Garcia can catch up to him and catch him off guard, Shakur might have a problem. But if Shakur is in, a great state of mind that night when they fight and moving around and avoiding Garcia and not letting Garcia get in on him, I don't see Shakur knocking Ryan out, but I do see him winning by points at the end.
Mhm. Okay. Z?
Um, it all depends on what weight they fight at.
Hmm.
If they fight at 140, I'm gonna pick Shakur. I
Hmm.
think Ryan's just too big to really kind of trade down and be as effective as he wants to be at
Hmm.
140. I'm at 147. I have really not seen Shakur fight at 147. I haven't seen a fight a 147-pound guy. So I can't really pick him. What I did like was the way Ryan looked when he fought Barry. With that said, style wise, I'm going to pick Shakur.
Hmm.
I'm going to pick Shakur more or less to control Ryan to a degree. He has to watch out early. You have to watch out early. But for all as well, I like Ryan's improvements, but he's a little bit new to the improvement. And Shakur's a guy that you can't be basic.
Hmm.
And as explosive and fast and powerful as Ryan is, he's still basic. He still wants to land what he wants to land, and he'll rely on that too much. And a guy like Shakur is not going to get caught with that.
Hmm.
He's just not going to get caught with that. He's going to outmaneuver Ryan. It's going to frustrate Ryan
Hmm.
to a degree. And I'm going to still say at 140.
Hmm.
That's more likely to happen at 140.
Okay. Um, Kate, what do you think of Patty Pimbrett and Benoit Saint Denis?
Um, I think it's a very favorable fight for Patty, but it's also a completely disrespectful offer. I don't know if that fight's been made yet, but I haven't heard anything about that yet. So I
Hmm.
think if it was, that's I can step back for Patty, and he's done absolutely nothing but move forward since he started in the UFC.
Hmm.
He has never lost yet. Or he does, but he's rebounded against that, and now the guy that he lost to fighting for world championships. So I think it's a little less than, yeah. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is he doesn't deserve that opponent at all. Benoit Saint Denis has been knocked out twice in the last 2 years, and Patty Pimblett has been out here beating championship contenders. So I think if anything, his next fight would be maybe even Elliot Taporia. Who knows?
Hmm. Okay. Z, what's your thoughts on that one?
I'm going to agree with Caden totally on that. You can't. There are other guys to fight. So you can't just really. You can, but Pepper deserves more competition. So maybe it's an easy fight for him, but as far as that goes, I'm not familiar with the UFC giving too much fights. So
Okay. Tony, a couple of weeks ago, in Fight News, it said that Jake Paul, doctors told Jake Paul he may never fight again. Now, all of a sudden, this week, he's been cleared to fight. What do you think?
Paid somebody off.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly what he did. He wants to fight, make more money. He's probably been told, don't do it. Your jaw was busted up in like 3 places. But, and honestly, for a guy to have his jaw broken the way he did and was still talking after the fight, talking about healing up, I got to give that credit because they had that hurt really bad. And obviously he's healed up quick and nice, but, you go and break those joints again and maybe even more, and you might have a problem. So I'm sure he paid somebody off just to make it disappear.
Yeah. That was one of the favorite things that Dr. Chris used to talk about, the zygomatic arch being disrupted and how hard it was to get it back, to everybody get back together and start taking those punches again. Hey, Z, what was I here? What do you think about him being cleared? You're the boxing expert. Tell us about that.
I'm going to agree with Tony totally. Dealing with boxing and promotion, all you need is the money. All you need is the money, and you're going to get what you want. So as far as that goes, I guarantee you, though, Jake Paul's not fighting a guy of Anthony Joshua's caliber again. You just think that is something that health-wise, you won't want to do that. So if he boxes in a professional setting again, it's definitely going to be against somebody who's not as skilled or hits as hard or heavy as someone like Anthony Joshua. And as they say, and I'm going to agree with Tony again, you can't uncrack the nut. Once the nut's been cracked, that's it. He has a cracked nut. Talking about his jaw, talking about his face. And, once it's cracked, that's it. You're hitting a cracked jaw. You're hitting, a cracked nut, and that's not good for Jake Paul in boxing at all. So if he wants to be clear to make money, that's what he wants to do. That's what he's going to do.
Here's a question for both of you. Who is his next opponent?
Not Anthony Joshua.
That'd be a good idea not to do that.
What do you think, Toad?
Well, if there's any truth to the John Jones thing, that would be possible. But he's gonna, if he does against anybody, it could do some damage to him. And God bless him for even trying against Josh, because we all knew the outcome of that one. It was like, okay, either he's going to get hurt or this thing is rigged, and that's what we were all waiting to see. And he got hurt, and if he goes against somebody else that can throw shots like that, he might be sucking through a straw for a long time, if not permanently. So he better pick somebody wisely. If he wants to make the money, do it methodically. Find somebody that everybody wants to see him fight. That's not going to go and knock his block off like Anthony Joshua did.
Hey, Z, how about Katie Taylor and Amanda Soriano?
This be the fourth time they fought. Every time they fight, it's entertaining, and it's always razor close. So I wouldn't mind seeing them again. Neither one's going to knock each other out, but it's going to be highly competitive. Katie Taylor is a little bit smoother with the boxing. Soriano is a bit more aggressive and a little hand quicker. But so it's always going to make one interesting matchup.
Okay. Hey, Caden, Corey Sandhagen, and Mario Bautista coming up next weekend.
Should be a good fight. I don't know much about Mario Bautista. I have seen the name slowly rising up through his ranks last year. So I guess now he's finally getting a shot against champ. I don't think it'll be too hard for Sandhagen if it's the same Sandhagen that we saw against Merab. And that's the big question for me is where's Merab at? This is Merab's fight. So again, that's my only stipulation with this fight. But if it's the same Corey Sandhagen we saw against Merab, then he should have no problem. But again, I'm going to reiterate, man. This should be Merab's fight all day. I don't know why he's not getting the instant rematch.
Okay, Z.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Caden on that one. Defer more on that. But yeah, I haven't heard too much about Batista.
Okay, Tony. Who's next for Fabio Wardley?
That's a good question. Honestly, if I were him, if he's still got some gas in the tank, I think I'd want a rematch. I think I'd give him a chance. You know, I don't want to say he would necessarily get beat like he did again, but I would give him a chance. Maybe he had a bad night. You know, the guy's excellent at boxing, so that probably would be his best bet as far as making money and trying to build an audience marketing wise. But anyone else right now, I don't think anybody's really going to pay too much attention.
Okay, Z.
Yeah, I think Tony's in my mind right now because that's basically what I was thinking. And just along the lines of you dealing with British pride, and that I mean, just the way he fought in that fight, he has so much confidence in his powers that I can see him taking a fight like, boy, if I could just land it on this guy, I dropped him twice. If I just landed, I could finish the guy. So, I mean, despite the beating he took, I could easily see Fabio Wardley, asking, kind of begging for that rematch. And, as Tony said, it's probably the most marketable fight for both guys. For both, so I would see that easily happen.
Okay. Caden, what do you think about, excuse me, Robert Whitaker and Nikita Krylov?
I think it's sad to see Robert Whitaker on an undercard. You used to going up there, seeing him fight world championships, and now he's in now he's in a prelim fighting against Nikita Krylov. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be too bad of a fight, but it is kind of just it's sad to see that. I don't know too much about Nikita Krylov. But man, if we see the Tam Whitaker that we know, then the Robert Whitaker that we know, then it shouldn't be too hard for him.
Okay, Z, what do you think about Vasily Lomachenko and Davis, Gervonta Davis?
Yeah, if they make that fight, to be honest, it seems like the ever since either guy has fought. So right now, Davis is fresher, younger. I would have to see. And this, I would really suggest Vasily take a tune-up fight. Definitely take a tune-up fight before he sees anybody of that caliber coming off of retirement and all of that. If we have essentially the same Vasily Lomachenko that we, for the most part we've had, I don't know if Davis beats him on point. And great footwork, and he's busy. And it's hard. And he's a guy that, for him to lose, he has to be unbusy, and he tends to do that to himself. But the thing is, Tank is not a guy who's going to have him unbusy. He'll have him a little careful, but not gun shy, because Tank is patient himself. So within the spaces of not working, Vasily's going to be winning. He's going to be winning those spots. I just don't see. I don't see anybody really. It's a knockout type of thing. I would say Tank was really too tough, I think, to get caught by Tank. Would get knocked out, but I can see controversy on that too. So,
okay, what do you think, Tony?
I can't go against anything Z just said. I think I am in his brain and he's in mine tonight, because that's exactly what I was going to say. I think if Tank hit him and he went down, he'd get back up.
Mhm.
And if Tank's got to chase Lomachenko around the ring, Lomachenko might get it on points.
Mhm.
I mean, Lomachenko's not going to knock Tank out, but if he's going to win that fight, it'll be on points because Tank's not going to be able to take it out.
Mhm. Okay. Caden, Paulo Costa. I'm sorry. Jake Paul, after this last outburst, has banned Clarissa Shields. What's your thoughts?
I didn't hear anything on that. I don't know how many times or if Clarissa Shields has ever fought on his promotion. I'm sure Z knows the answer to that question, but yeah, I don't know much about that. You know, I guess he's a temperamental guy like Dana White, I guess.
Okay. Z, are you have anything on that?
Not too much. I just know that there's talk about because I think she might have fought or she may supposed to be fighting on Jake Paul's promotion. I'm not sure, but if the money is generated properly, that's not even going to be an issue.
Yeah.
It's not if her fighting that's going to generate the money, then that's not. Yeah, we're not even talking about everything.
Yeah, what it comes down to is she had a major blowout in a mall and totally embarrassed everybody, including herself, and did have to go down to the police station for a respite, let's call it. And then he said he was going to ban her from his group. So that's where that came from. Tony, Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia.
Is that another one that they're building up?
Yep.
I don't think that's a good idea for Teofimo personally. And Teofimo better concentrate on some other fights right now. I think he's not doing too well after this last one that he had and got beat. So if I were him, I don't think I'd want to be on Ryan Garcia's radar. Let Ryan Garcia fight these other ones that we all want to see. Teofimo needs to fight somebody else. Put him up against Devin Haney. Let's haven't seen a Haney fight or something yet. You know,
Okay.
that'd be more interesting than Ryan Garcia knocking him out.
Okay. What do you think, C?
Yeah, I don't know if Ryan Garcia would necessarily stop. Well, and that's another one where they would probably fight at 147. And I will say, me and Tony are just on one accord because I don't think that's a good fight for TFC. I don't know if Ryan would stop him. I mean, he very well could, but that's a fight to where he would really mess Teofimo's face off.
Mm-hmm.
And Teofimo's tough, but I can see Teofimo getting dropped several times, getting up, getting amped up and frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
and just not being able to do what he wants to do to Ryan Garcia. Teofimo is as good as he is a one gear car. It's maybe a fast, high power gear, but it's one gear. And with that one gear, you can navigate around, sometimes on that one gear. And Ryan Garcia, for what it's worth, he's going to get. He is capable of laying hands on Teofimo. Capable of putting, good clutches on him. That's not what you want from Ryan Garcia. I think you need to be, you need a bit more discipline to fight a guy like Ryan Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot be boxing-wise less disciplined than Ryan Garcia and beat him. That's just not going to work. And that's kind of what the outcome will be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Caden, Ilya Taporia and Jack Holcutt. That's pretty close to signing. What do you think?
And Jack who?
Holcutt, Holkit, Holcutt.
Oh, Josh Hokett?
Yeah.
No, that's that was they were at the same press conference. Hokett's they're both fighting on UFC 250. Hokett's a heavyweight fight.
Mm-hmm.
That fight wouldn't happen. But they like to talk, and Hope's a big talker. And I think something happened at the last 250 pre-fight post conference or press conference.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Z, Dubois, and Wardley, 2.
Yeah. We talked about that a few minutes ago, and I think that that would be the perfect fight for both guys.
Mm-hmm.
Both guys. Right now, especially now, I mean, to be honest, too, who's the guy who just fought Rico Verhoeven.
Mm-hmm.
He literally put his name in the conversation. Just the way he was fighting against Usyk, he put his name in the conversation as far as, almost launched himself into top heavyweight status with one professional fight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, through now, the one professional fight, and he was a dog in that one, and I can see him beating top guys. So maybe Dubois could, maybe he could, that could be lined up between him and Dubois or him and Woodley. I would like to see that. But as I say, right now for both guys, although it'll be, I think the marketability, it'll be better for both guys, Dubois and Woodley to face each other. I don't know if Woodley's ready for that yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tony, Anthony Joshua is looking at Klitschko. And then there's also Francis Ngannou wants to fight him, and so does Ruiz. Of all those fighters, who would stand the best fight with him?
I have to go with Ngannou on that one, and I think that would be the one that most people would want to see. Even though a lot of people like Ruiz, but it's just not. That just doesn't seem like an appealing fight. Again, going back to a marketing thing, and Francis Ngannou, he's the shit right now. I mean, and you throw him in the ring with Anthony Joshua,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be the best fight. Klitschko?
Yeah, Klitschko.
He's been out. Klitschko, yeah, he's been out for so long. I don't think anybody's going to want to see that fight.
Z?
I think Ngannou.
Z?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Klitschko, he has gray hair right now. He's enjoying retirement. I don't see him getting in the ring at all, especially against anyone that who's sort of relevant right now. So.
Okay. Excuse me. Caden, Paul Acosta, and Strickland. Or Mike Perry.
The Mike Perry won't happen, but Paulo Costa, Strickland, that one won't happen either. Or if it did, it would have to be in the future. Because the next fight for Strickland is going to be a complete automatic rematch against Hamzat Chimaev.
All right, give us your thoughts on that one.
Obviously, I'm going to go out there and say that Hamzat got robbed in that first fight, and that he won that anyway. So I'm going to take him again in the second fight. That's my boy.
Okay. Excuse me, Tony. Rico Verhoeven had problems is problematic for Usyk. What's your thought?
Nobody's problematic for Usyk right now.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a little bit more of a fight for Usyk, but nothing he can't take. I mean, Usyk's just on top. And there's nobody. I still don't think anybody's going to take him anytime soon.
Okay. What do you think, Z?
Yeah, I mean, Verhoeven was, as I say, he was a dog in that fight. And a lot of it had to do, I think, with just style-wise. He's a big guy, quick-handed, and who fought very, very disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Very disciplined. and to revert from kickboxing to with one professional fight to fight the champion on those type of terms, that's incredible. I mean, if he would have beat Usyk, we're talking on the level of Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson. The only thing is, it seemed like Usyk kind of figured it out, kind of, more or less. It looked like he was reserving a lot of his energy. Reserving a lot of his energy. Got hit much more than you used to see Usyk get hit with clean shots. But when it came time, Usyk turned it on and he stopped him. Now there's controversy. They say there's controversy with the ref stopping it. After the bout. All right, that's one thing, but he also gave Verhoeven 20 extra seconds to recover after the knockdown with the mouthpiece. So that there, and that according to the rules, he has to do that. He has to do that according to the rules, but it still gives the guy extra time to recover. And after giving him the extra time to recover, and Usyk starts turning his head again like that, the crowd's cheering and all that. The ref's not hearing about it. He's seeing the guy's head though. So, and then when he stepped in, it's over. I agree with the stoppage. It looked crazy as far as just the timing, but I agree with the stoppage. And as I said, I would like to see Verhoeven fight another top heavyweight. Would he fight Usyk again? He can. To be honest, that would be marketable. Just the fight, first fight. I think it wouldn't go well for Verhoeven. I think it would go worse. Usyk would, we've seen his style before. He would be a little sharper, a little more committed to stopping Verhoeven. But I would like to see that fight again.
Okay. Caden, Magomed, and Roundtree.
Should be a good one. Should be a real good one. I honestly think that Roundtree will give Magomed Goliath more of a problem than Alex Pereira did. I think the only reason that Pereira really pulled it out of the fire against Roundtree is because not only did he go into some sort of, subhuman flow state mode in the end of that fight, but Roundtree gassed out. And I always thought that if Roundtree could get his cardio in order and really get all of his kicks in order, that he could be a championship level fighter. And in that Alex Pereira fight, I think he more than proved it. And I thought it was kind of bullcrap when he didn't get that rematch because he fought one of the best fights up until that point that we had ever seen against Alex Pereira. I mean, we saw Adesanya knock Pereira out, but I mean that was a counter punch that was getting back into the corner. Roundtree was walking Alex Pereira down for 3 rounds in a row. We had never seen that. And I think that constant aggression and just being in your face is something that didn't happen against Magomed Goliath in that Pereira fight. And that was the deciding factor for me, is that one guy was moving backwards, the other guy was moving forwards. And Ankalaev was that guy. He was way more active. And nobody in that division is more active than Khalil Roundtree. And that guy moves around 24/7, and he's got power. And before he went and trained in Thailand for 2 years, he was known for his wrestling. So the guy's got it all. I think he has all the skills to put up an amazing fight and be a big problem for Magomed Goliath. And I take Khalil Roundtree in that fight.
Okay. Z, Dimitri Bivol, and Michael Eifert.
Oh yeah, they fought last night, I think, and
yes,
Bivol put up a great performance. Won by decision and pretty much just controlled the fight. I know he dropped him with a nice left hook in the first round, and just kind of more or less controlled the fight and did what Bivol does. It looked sharp. Actually looked a little more determined to put damage on Eifert. But I didn't see any slippage from him. Didn't see any slippage. Just looked like Bivol and business as usual. So it'll be interesting to see who fights next.
All right, well, guys, that brings us right to the end of our hour. What a again, that's the fastest hour in a week. Every time I sit down at this mic, I think, well, I've got 2 pages of stuff here I got to go through. I hope we can get through it. And the next thing I know, we're at the very last of the fights. So I want to thank you for everything you put into the fights, and everybody brings so much knowledge to this program, and we really appreciate it. Z, you want to lead us out?
Absolutely. I want to thank Aiden. I want to thank Tony, you, Butch, all of my Fighting Words family. You chose a memory of Bob, Coach Melton, Dr. Chris. And if anyone wants to learn any fighting words, please do call.
Hey, Z, before we sign off, talk about your fighter.
My fighter. Well, my main fighter, Brian, he's retired. But he's retired. But he's been working with some guys, from Atlantic City, heavy guys, and he's still able to work. And just the fact that he's able to work and just to work with guys and teach, and right now he's a coach. Brian's a coach. So congratulations to him and all of his hard work and his knowledge.
Okay, Tony.
It did go quick again. Turn around at 8:30. It's unbelievable. I'm just glad to be on. Glad Z. I'm glad you're back, Caden. I'm getting better at this UFC stuff, man. I'm going to be able to converse with you one day here soon, I think. And my man Pops, I hope you're doing well with the whole family. Had a good holidays, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you, Caden.
Oh yeah, another amazing week. Man, Tony, that UFC stuff is fun, right, man? It's fun to get into. I can't wait until we're out here watching every single card. And Ty or Z, you always hold it down in the boxing. No more than I was talking about this the other day with somebody. They said, "Who do you know knows the most about a singular sport?" I say, I'm on a talk show. This guy Z's my main man. I don't know anybody who knows more about one sport than you, brother. You always bring it together. Pops. Next month we got Father's Day. I'm sure I'm gonna be saying a hell of a lot more next month. But you are the best grandfather and role model I could ever ask for, brother. Thank you for doing all you do. I'll see you guys next weekend, and God bless.
I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, these programs are brought to you each and every night of the week in grateful appreciation to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the men and women of police and fire services, the doctors and nurses and first responders, as well as those good people that keep the shelves stocked in our supermarkets. These programs are dedicated to those who've lost their lives in line of duty. Deputy Robert Anthony Carroll, Patrolman David Curtis, Patrolman Jeffrey Colcap, Sergeant Thomas Banger, Patrolman Jeffrey Yazowitz, San Diego Officer Mike Hendler, Sergeant Tom Wilson, Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, Detective Randy Bell, Detective Ricky Childers, Patrolman Charlie Condit, Tarpon Springs Police Department, Deputy Chief Mike Godwin, Philadelphia Fire Department, Lieutenant Joyce Craig Lewis, Philadelphia Fire Department, Sergeant James O'Connor, Philadelphia Police Department, Sergeant Chris LeVake, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Mike Zerba, Newcastle County Police, Patrolman Anafo Crispin, Lakeland PD, Deputy Josh Meyer, Nassau County Sheriff's Department, Captain Matt Letourneau, Philadelphia Fire Department, Captain Chris Leach, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Arth Hope, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Jerry Ficus, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Chief Jimmy Ford, Wilmington Fire Department, Chief Al Hogo, Longboat Cave Police Department, Deputy Mike Hargrove, Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, excuse me, Trooper Chelsea Richards, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Joe Bullock, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Zachary Ben, Florida Highway Patrol, Sergeant Chris Fitzgerald, Philadelphia Police Department, Sergeant Ramon Mendez, Philadelphia Police Department, Chief Corey Compantier, Buffalo Creek Fire Department, Deputy Ronnie Ronazinski, Manatee County Sheriff's Department, Patrolman Zachary Butterfield, Pete Bradenton PD, and Corporal Timothy O'Connor, Pennsylvania State Police. My brothers and sisters, though, you may be 10-7 at this point in time, and sometime will be 10-10 at the table of the Lord. Until that time, may the rose rise up to meet you. May the winds be always at your back. May the rains fall softly on your fields, and the sun shine lightly on your face. Until we meet again, may the good Lord keep you and your family always in the palm of his hands. Good night. God bless, and have a great week. And